Very good. Good morning to you, my dear brothers and sisters. Today we are on the 13th day of our foundational Hebrew. So let us begin with the scripture reading. I'm sharing my screen with you. Today we'll be reading a classical text from the book of Judges. Here we go. So this is from Judges 14, where Samson is going to Timnah to get married. So it's a very beautiful text and it has a lot of insights to offer. We'll try to understand the text and we can still make sense of the text from the little vocabulary we have learned. Good. Here we go. First one, verse 1. Vayereth Shimson Timnatha Vayer Isha Ba Timnatha Mibanoth Pelishtim Vayal Vayageth Le Avi U Le Immi Immo Vayomer Isha Raiti Bet Timnata Mibanoth Pelishtim Va Ata Kehu Ota Li La Isha Vayomer Lo Avi Va Immo Hayen Bivnoth Aheha Uvahol Ammi Isha Ki Ata Holech Lakahat Isha Mit Pelishtim Ha Arelim Vayomer Shimshon El Abi Ota Kahli Ki Hi Yashara Beyana Va Abi Vayimo Lo Yadavu Ki Me Adonai Hi Ki Tona Hu Ma Bakesh Mi Pelishtim U Waet Hahi Pelishtim Moshlim Bi Israel. Ba Israel. But we'll go one by one. It's a very easy text because we already know the words. Here, va is missing. So, why Yereth? So, Yereth, we have seen Yoreth, descending or going down. Why Yoreth? And he went down. Who went down? Shimshon. Samson went down. Where? The place is called Timnah. And Timnah, and when the particle A is added, it tells a direction. So he goes to Timnah, Timnatha. So suppose if you have to say somebody comes to Bangalore, it will be Ba Bangalora. So when A is added, it mentions the direction. So Samson going down or went down to Timnah. Vayar, Ra'a, to see. So he saw Isha, a woman, Timnah, in Timnah or at Timnah, Mi Benoth, me from Benoth, daughters of Philistine. So Philistine daughters. So among the Philistine daughters, Samson saw a one girl or one woman. Then Va Ya Al, Allah. Allah means to go up. So first verse he goes down. Second verse he goes up. Va Yigeth. So Yigeth, negate is to narrate. He narrates to le. Avi, Avi's father. Here we have the masculine, third person masculine singular suffix. His father. Ul immo, again O. So he narrated to his father and his mother. Vayomer, and he said, Isha, woman, Raiti, I saw. Bet Timnah, I saw a woman in Timnah. Mi Benoth, again repetition from the top. Mi Benoth Philistine, from the daughters of Philistines. Va Atta, Atta is now. Now, Kahu, here from Lakah means to take. So here, Kahu is imperative. Take, Ota. Ota we have seen, Yet plus A. That is feminine singular third person plus object marker. Take her, Li, to me. La Isha, to me, to be my wife, or to be wife, or to be woman. Bayomer, and he said, Lo, to him, who said, Avi, father, his father, Va Imo, his mother, said to him, means together, his father and his mother said to him, still they have a singular verbal pattern here. Ha yen, ha is again, it introduces here interrogation. So earlier we saw ha as something like a definite article, but ha also becomes a interrogative particle, which we'll see. Ha yen is there is not. So yen we have seen, there is not. Bi Benoth, from the daughters. Aheha, his ha, aha is from your brother. Wu Bakol, Ammi, and my people. So are they not daughters from your brother's house or from our people? Isha, woman. Ki, that. Atta, now. Holeg, sorry, you, Atta, you. Holeg, you are going. Lakahat, to take. Isha, woman. Meet Philistine, again from the top, from the Philistines. Ha arelim, uncircumcised. So this is a new word. Then Bayomer Shimshon, El Abi Ota. So here, look at the constructive. It is not in when we translate in English, it's lost. But how he tells, Bayomer Shimshon, Samson told El Abi. Only finally he tells his father. What does he tell? Ota Kahli. She take for me. So he doesn't tell you take her for me like that. Nothing. She take for me. So that much emphasis he is giving. That's very beautifully brought out only in Hebrew. Ota kahli ki he yashara bayana. So here again another expression, because she is right. Yashar we have seen. Yashar is masculine. Yashara is feminine singular. Yashara bayena. So here, if you look at here, Yashara, here we have. Then last word in fourth is Be Israel. So here what we have, the contrast is, Samson is telling that she is right in my eyes. But in Israel, those who are supposed to be right in God's eyes, they are not in God's eyes. So that's a word play here. Yashara, Israel. So Shara, Yashar, and here also Yasar. So there is a word play that Samson tells that a woman, Philistine woman is right, but Israelites are not right. So that's a word play there. Then va avi va immo lo yadav. So here lo is did not. So it's a negation particle we will see today. So if you look here, in third we have a lo here. This is to him. But look here, lo followed by aleph. This is a negation particle. Lo yadavu, they did not know, ki me Adonai, that it was from Yahweh. He, that is Yahweh, this was from Yahweh. Ki Tona, because Tona is searching. He was searching for an occasion. Ma Bakesh, occasion. Ma Bakesh is an occasion against Philistines, me Philistine, because U Waed, at that time, Kahi, there, Philistine, Moshlim. Mashal means to rule over, like Melech, Mashalim, be Israel. They were ruling over Israel. Very good. So, if you look back at our own vocabulary list, Yareth we have seen. Simshon is a proper noun. Then it's again proper noun. This we will see shortly. Isha we have seen, proper noun. Then Banoth we have seen. Philistine. Ala we have seen. Nagate we have not seen. Av we have seen. we have seen. Then Vayomer we have seen. Isha, Raiti we have not seen. And Lakaha we have seen. Li we are familiar. Then Yeteha, then Ota, Lo. So some words, at least 40% of the words are familiar to us. So still we can make sense of a text with a dictionary for the words which we are not familiar. Good. Very good. Super. So today we are on day 13. We are going to do something beautiful today. That is, we are going to enter into understand Hebrew verbs. Okay, before I proceed, just I pause for 1 minute to ask you about the quiz. So all of you have done well. So I appreciate you, and I have given marks also. I have not sent the marks because I have not conducted the last part, that is a reading. So shall we do it now, or you would do it? You want to do it privately, like we'll do it over a phone? We'll do over a phone so that we don't take this time.
Okay, Father.
Okay, so maybe I'll call you over phone when you give me a time. Then just I'll ask you to read from. Okay.
You give more time for us to practice. Thank you, Father.
Okay, so maybe you can just text me your time by Friday. You text any time. I'll call you that time and will. Okay.
Okay, Father.
Good. Very good. Super. So how did you feel that quiz must be easier than the earlier one?
Not that it's easier than the earlier one.
Okay.
It's okay. Everything is fine, except that the word and then okay, even that numbers and gender and everything is fine,
Okay.
and the form also is okay. Only that finding the root was little difficult.
Okay. So even I didn't explain that what is analysis means. So
Yeah,
maybe, but we did it
root
in
and
the
stem and all.
Yeah, okay. Analysis, but we were doing orally, like
Okay.
whenever we were reading in the sense, when we were translating sentences, I was in fact asking you, what is the grammatical category? What is the gender?
Yeah,
So that
exactly.
is the analysis, but I didn't tell properly that how it would be in an exam. So because even in any foreign language, if you are able to analyze it and you make meaning out
Yeah.
of it, that's the beauty of. That's why I didn't tell it.
Thank you for that.
Okay. But all of you have made it well. Good. So congratulations to you.
Thank
Super.
you.
Okay. Good. So here we go now to verbs. So from here starts today actual Hebrew. So what we have seen so far is only an introduction. We'll quickly run through the alphabets as we did in other days. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, He, Waw, Zayin, Het, Tet, Yod, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samek, Ayin, Pe, Sade, Kof, Resh, Sin, Shin, Tau. Vowels A, E, A, I, O, U, A, E with the schwas. Good. We are going to see now today the 4 things. That's our learning points today. Number 1, verb inflections. So in different languages, we call differently. For example, in English, we have conjugation. So conjugation is of a verb. Declension is of a noun and adjective. Even in German or in Italian, adjectives and nouns are declined and verbs are conjugated. In Hebrew, we use the word inflections. I'll explain to you shortly. That is, we are going to see perfect form, imperfect form. Only these 2 major forms in Hebrew verbal patterns. Then we'll try to understand Hebrew verbs. Because when you master Hebrew verb, for that matter, any language, if you master verb pattern and if you master prepositions, you are a master of a language. Other things are only lexical replacements. So verbs and prepositions, they make the real grammar. We have already begun our study on prepositions. Today we'll be entering into the study of verbs. Then third one, word order in the verbal sentences. For example, Bereshit bara Elohim. So why it's not bara Bereshit Elohim? Why Bereshit is at the beginning? So something we will see that. word order in verbal sentences. And finally, the forms of the conjunction were, that is were and, when it joins with the different consonants, how it changes forms, that we are going to see. That is from lesson 9 of Lambdin. So at the end of our course, I'll send you the entire textbook that has 55 lessons. Actually, this book is a learn by yourself, that type of mode, but still we have introduced some, so you can still follow the lesson. So I'll be sending the entire book. So since I'll be sending the book to you, I am following only what is in the book so that we don't get things mixed up. Okay. First, we understand verbs. First one, derived from roots, triconsonantal. So earlier we have said all the Hebrew words are triconsonantal, means some are there double consonants, like Rav. You have in your test, in your quiz earlier, Rav means many. So Rav, there we have only two consonants, but actually the third consonant was there, but in the course of time, the third consonant has missed out. So that's, we'll see that's later. They are called geminate verbs, which have actually they have that particular consonant either hidden or lost. We'll see. Otherwise, the most, maybe 99% of Hebrew words, even today, what they use in Israel, is a triconsonantal, except for the foreign imported words like computer, like they write in computer, they write in Hebrew computer. So they are, except for the foreign words, all other their original words are triconsonantal. And from the triconsonantal, by adding suffixes or prefixes or by making vowel changes, they would change the meaning. For example, here we have a triconsonantal root, mem, lamet, and final kaf, melek we say. So from here, we derive words like melek. So if you add vowel sounds of a, it becomes king. Suppose if you add like malakut is kingdom. Then Malek is ruled. He ruled. Malak means he ruled. Today we are going to see this verbal pattern, perfect pattern. So the consonantal root is same. Mem, lamet, kaf, mem, lamet, kaf, mem, lamet, kaf. So here, Melek is king. If you add segolates, that is a consonants. And if you follow that call pattern, it becomes a verb. And if you add a suffix ut, then it's a feminine ending. Malakut becomes a kingdom. So same consonantal root, by adding different suffixes or prefixes, or by adding different vowels, we make different words. Maybe different grammatical categories also. For example, this is a king is a noun. Here abstract noun, it becomes a verb. But consonantal root is same for all. First one, this root is called in Hebrew shoresh. So in some textbooks, you will see shoresh. So shoresh simply means root. And identifying root letters, that is the first thing we need to do. First position, second position, third position. For example, we go to the previous slide. Here, first position. So mem is the first position. Lamek is the second position. Final kaf is the third position, which we have already seen. 1, 2, 3. That's what we mean by position. Then properties of verbs. So what are the properties of verb, which we know from other grammar? Just we'll quickly revise it. First one, person. By person, we mean the person who is talking. That is the first person. The person who is talked to. That is the second person. The person who is talked about is third person. So talking person, talked to person, talking about person. So first person could be I singular, we plural. Second person, you singular, you plural. Third person, he, she, it singular, and they in plural. They are spoken person, they are persons spoken of. Then we have two numbers, like singular, plural. Like in the first person, we have singular I, plural we. Then gender, masculine, feminine, neuter or common. Neuter or common gender. But in Hebrew, except the foreign words, all are in two genders, either masculine or feminine. For example, earlier we have seen mountain is masculine, hill is feminine. So all Hebrew nouns fall under these two categories, masculine and feminine. And when it comes to verbal pattern, it changes accordingly. For example, the boy bought the milk. Here, bought is same for masculine and feminine in English. The boy bought the milk. The girl bought the milk, we say. But in Hebrew, it's not the case. For boy, we say differently, and for girl, it's differently. So like in our own Dravidian languages. For example, suppose I say in Tamil, Paal vanginan, Paal vanginal. So vanginan is for masculine, that na sound. La sound is for feminine. So that same thing is applied in verbal patterns in Hebrew. Then we have voice. Active voice, passive voice, we are familiar with. There is one more voice in Hebrew and Greek that is called middle voice. And we use that also in our English, but we are not aware of that. For example, I shut the door. I shut the door is active voice. The door was shut by me. That is passive voice. The door shut. Sometimes we say the door shut or the window broke. So suppose here, I broke the window, active voice. The window was broken by me, passive voice. The window broke. That's the middle voice actually. Actually what is implied, the window broke itself. That's a reflexive. So middle is reflexive, where the action is reflected within the particular action completed. So the window broke, but still it makes a sense. It's called middle voice in Greek and Hebrew. We have usage in English, but we are not familiar with this term, middle voice or reflexive voice, but we have in Hebrew, middle voice. Then we have aspect, kind of action. So this is something unique to Hebrew. Here, for a simple action, one type of verb, for intensive, for causal. For example, suppose I say, I see. That is simple action. Suppose I observe. They're actually intensive action. Here, simple is just an act of seeing. I see a bird, I see an animal, I see a plant. So that is simple action. In intensive action, like I give my attention. For example, I observed the class notes, or I observed the answer sheets, or I observed somebody's behavior. That is closely seeing. So seeing is simple action. Intensive is their action is intense, in the sense some more gravity is added. Causal action, I made him see. That is, I caused somebody to see. For example, in English, we cause me to come to that oh Lord. So cause me, that makes somebody do an action. Suppose we have this example, to hit, that is simple. To pound to pieces, like a hit, and that the action is so intensive that the object which is hit is pound to pieces. Then to cause to be hit, to allow to be hit, that's a causal action. So in Hebrew, we have these three types: simple action, intensive action, causal action. This type of actions are explained with the term aspect or mode. It's a kind of action. So Hebrew has some groups of words to explain simple action, some to explain intensive action, and some to explain causal action. And with one verb, you can make all these things possible, like see. So see, observe, make him see. So yeah, in English, it's not coming well, but when we see the Hebrew verbs, we'll understand. But for the time being, you kindly understand what an aspect means. Aspect means kind of action, simple, intensive, and causal. Then we have tense. Tense simply means time. We have three times: past time, present time, future time. Like I ate this morning, I eat now, I will eat this evening. So action completed in the past time, action going on in the present time, action which will happen in the future time. So time, tense simply means time. So here in Hebrew also, an action has happened. For example, God created, past. Samson is going down to Timnah, present. Samson will marry the Timnite girl or the girl from Timnah, that is future. So past, present, future. So how this particular time is explained through the verbal pattern, which we will see. Then we have strong verbs, weak verbs. This is very important because we are going to see only strong verbs. Strong verb has all regular consonants in its stem. A weak verb has one or more guttural letters as part of its stem. So earlier we have seen when we were forming our participles, like we began with strong verbs, then we went on to see in the first position guttural, second position guttural, third position guttural, and that bana, that third he. So we have seen different types already. So you are already familiar with what would be a weak verb, what would be a strong verb. So here there was one example. Yeah. So this is strong and weak consonants. Look here, first position, second position, third position. By strong verb, we mean all these are regular consonants. Regular consonants in the sense they are not gutturals. They are 5, like aleph, ayin, he, het, and resh. So these 5 are there. And these 5, they have, when they come in the triconsonant root, they make little complications in the verbal pattern. First understand strong verb, all are regular consonants, katal. Here, amad. If you look here, that first position, type 1 guttural. So here, ayin is a guttural. Type 2 guttural, ga-al. So aleph is a guttural. Then type 3, barach, het. This het is a guttural. Here, doubly weak, like first also is a guttural, third position also is a guttural. So doubly weak consonantal roots, how they will behave. So here, this is a regular form. So if you see, understand this regular form, these things actually we can make sense. For example, in the participle also, we saw the regular form. Then with the regular form, we were just trying to make some modification, like shua. Instead of shua, we added a vowel point. And instead of aleph having a vowel, we just left it unvoweled. So that way we can still, with the, if you are familiar with the strong and if you are thorough with the strong verb, you can make for the weak verbs very easily. So that's what we mean by strong and weak verbs. And Hebrew has two main verb forms, perfect and imperfect. So they are called perfect and imperfect. But let's not confuse it with English, like perfect, imperfect. Perfect tense means the action which is completed. I have eaten, perfect. But imperfect is in, suppose in Italian, you have imperfetto. Imperfect is actually past. So like I went to Rome, that's a one-time action. Ero a Roma, that is type of imperfetto they call. But we are not talking about perfect of English or imperfect of Italian. So this is completely a different group which we will see shortly. First, we'll understand the morphology. The perfect is a suffixed form. The imperfect is a prefixed form. So what do we mean by suffix and prefix? So suffix is what is added at the end. Prefix is what is added at the beginning. So here we have shin, mem, resh, shomer. So to observe or to see or to watch over. Here perfect, how it's formed. So the triconsonantal is maintained. So shin is there, mem is there, resh is there. And we add a suffix, shamarti. So when you add a suffix, perfect is formed. Here imperfect is there. How it's formed when you add a prefix, yeshmor. Here shamarti is I saw or I observed or I watched over. Yeshmor means I will watch over or I will observe. So I will. So already we translate imperfect as will. This as past tense. So for the time being, you understand, perfect is translated in past, imperfect is translated in future. So that's a convenient understanding, but that will change when it becomes a wow consecutive. We'll see it later. So how it changes. For example, Vayomer. Vayomer is there. Va is added, but we translate as and he said. We don't say and he will say. So why that change comes, we'll see. So for the timing, let's understand two main verb forms, perfect, imperfect. Perfect as a suffix, imperfect as a prefix. So from the very fact whether it has a prefix or suffix, we can understand whether something is perfect or imperfect. Again, let's keep in mind, we are only concerned about the passive Hebrew. So we are not going to form Hebrew sentences, but we are going to only see and understand. So here, shamarti, T is there, suffix perfect. Yeshmore prefix. So that way, that kind of understanding suffices now. Okay. Further, any doubt with what we have seen so far? I stop now before proceeding. Just we have begun with the verb. We have tried to understand verbal terms like the properties of verbs. Any doubt with what I have shared with you so far?
No further.
Okay, good. Very good. Now we have 7 types of verbal formation. Let's understand this is also unique to Hebrew. We have kal, nifal, pl. I will means just understand that term, then I'll explain. Kal, nifal, pl, puval, hefil, hofal, hitpael. Here, to express simple action, active voice is called. For example, I saw, simple action, active voice. Here, nifal stem is simple action but passive voice. In the sense, I saw God, but God appeared to me. So unless he appears, I can't see. So here, from God point of view, it is God appearing. From his point of view, it's a active voice, but from my point of view, God appears to me. That is a passive voice. It's very little tricky, but when you understand the verb formation, it will be very easy. So here, I see God appeared. So that's a seeing is one dimension, appearing is another dimension. That's how Hebrew understands. So it does not mean that I see, call, I was seen. Okay, actually I was seen is appear. So God was seen. So we put it differently. God appeared. That is nifal. So whenever a verb begins with the na, it is always passive voice or passive sense. Simple action, passive voice. Then PL, intensive action, active voice. Like I killed somebody or I murdered somebody. That is PL because intensive action. Puval, again it's a passive, like I was killed, but not necessarily I was killed, but he allowed himself to be killed. So something like we'll take the verb, don't worry. PL, puval. Then he feel, hofal. He feel is causal action. He made me see. He made me drink. Here, hofal is it was made to be seen. That is causal action, passive. This is causal action active, causal action passive. Then hitpael is intensive action, reflexive. For example, I stood on my legs. So here, actually hitpael is that action is done, but my own legs I am standing. That is intensive action. The soldiers were running closely. They are intensive, but they are running close in the sense their legs were one after another. That is hitpael. So it's a very interesting word, which is very unique here. But other things are like equal to English. We have simple action, intensive action, causal action. Like I see, I observed, then I made him see. And active voice, passive voice, active voice, passive voice, active voice, passive voice. Here it is reflexive. So for that, this usually comes in the middle. For middle voice, we use hitpael. So reflexive voice is middle voice. So kal, nifal, PL, puval, hefil, hofal. There is an easy way to remember it. I will tell you. You look at the note. The kal stem is basic. The other stems are derived from it. Nearly 70% of verbs are kal. Okay, kal form. Okay, look here. Kal, that is the stem. Name, type of action, simple, active, form, how it is written, identifiers, unaugmented, then what is the meaning? Let's understand one by one. So in kal, if you see, so it is kal. So look at this particular consonants, ka is there. Then verb a. So from here only, so here we have a, so kal. So look at the vowel here, kal, a vowel is there. So a vowel will be there. So if there is a vowel at the beginning, like bara, kara, that is kal verb. So this vowel, look at the vowel here and look at the vowel here. So from here only we get the name kal. Then we have here nifal. Look here, all the nifal formation will have nun. So nif al. So look here, nif, we don't pronounce this like nik, niktal. It's here, katal, niktal, niktal, nifal. So here, ni, vowel ni is here, ni. Then vowel a is here, short a, nif al. Then pl is ea. So here we have ea, ea. So first consonant will have e, second consonant will have a. So that is pa. Pu all, intensive passive. Again, kuttal. So u a. U a is here. Here also u a. Kuttal. Then he fil, causative action. Here we have a he addition. So hiktil, he feel. So he fee, he feel. So here also two vowels, e, hit, hiktil here, he feel. Then ho fall again, ho a. That this is here. It's like here, like you remember hokma. We said, why do we say hokma? It's not hokama, because if a consonant, if a shua is there, that becomes a o sound. That is ho fall, o hoktal, o fal, o a. Then hit payal will have hit prefix, hit katel, hit katel. So hit is here, hit katel, a. So from the vowels they take, these words are formed. So these names are easy to remember, and these vowels are easy to remember from the names, and from the vowels we can understand the names. So call will have only one vowel, nifal, e-a, e-a, u-a, e-e, then o-a, then it-a, hit-paye, a-a. So this is a pattern. Now we'll understand the meaning. So here we have here the explanation. Unaugmented means nothing, no prefix is added, no suffix is added. Then ni prefix is there. Then ea, ua, he prefix is there. Ha, that is ho prefix is there when together with the consonant. Then hit prefix is there. Meaning, kal, katal means he killed. Niktal, he was killed. Kittel, intensive action, he destroyed. Kuttal, he was destroyed. Hiktil, he caused death. Hoktal, he was caused to kill. Then Hitkatel, he killed himself. That is a reflexive, middle. Hitkatel. So wherever there is hit is there, we can easily understand it's a he killed himself, reflexive pattern. This is not same in English or in any European or Indo-Greek languages, because the Semitic family works differently. But still, this is very unique to us. For example, why for a simple action one type of work, for another type, that is for intensive action we have different type. That's a little tricky, but still we can understand it. Okay, good. Very good. So kal, nifal, pl, pual, hefil, hofal, hitpayel. So we have simple action, intensive action, causal action, reflexive action. Good. Now we go to, just we'll understand now how it behaves. Then we will see when it comes to when verbal formation, we'll see shortly that we are going to do with katal. Here, katal, niktal, kittel, that's what we are seeing. Kuttal, hitkatel, hiktil, hoktal. So here opal is there, hitpile is put here. Okay. Suppose it makes a imperfect. Iktol, ikatel, yekatel, yekutal, itkatel, yaktil, yoktal. Okay, we will see it. Don't worry. There is an easy way to remember. Just to show you how a prefix is added, how a suffix is added. But this we have seen. Okay. About Hebrew conjugations. We are going to see these many verbal patterns. Today we'll begin with the perfect.
Excuse me, Father.
Yes, Mr. Terence.
In the other one, the other slide, earlier slide, yeah. In the third column, you said the third person masculine singular imperfect.
Yes.
But here it's all,
Yeah.
it's only, I mean, prefixes, right?
Yes, all prefixes.
Okay. So prefixes means it is imperfect.
Yeah, prefixes. Now, for example, katal will be iktol, niktal will be ikatel. So here, actually, the nun is added inside. Okay, so nun is hiding. So, but it's a different patterns we are telling. So we are not now seeing it as a, for the time you understand this. Katal,
Okay.
iktol.
Okay.
Okay, here nothing is there. Here prefix is there, but
Yeah.
don't confuse with the other prefixes. Okay, for
Yeah,
the
that,
time being,
yeah,
just I
perfect.
wanted to show how it will look like.
Actually, our understanding was suffix was only imperfect, the prefix is only perfect.
Yeah, that's the one. Okay, what that's for only call, only for call. Suffix is only for perfect, and prefix is for imperfect. But for other things like nifal and hitpael, hifil, they will have their own prefixes as well.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
for the
Father.
time
Okay.
being, just let's only concentrate on call.
Okay, Father.
Okay,
Okay, Father.
when we are thorough with the call, other things are very easy. Okay,
Okay. Thank you, Father.
okay, good, very good. So these are the Hebrew conjugations which we will learn in this book. So we'll at the end of the course we will have perfect, imperfect, participle. Okay, the other things are very simple. I'll explain to you. First one, perfect. The perfect conjugation is used to denote simple completed action. Though it is an oversimplification, for now we will translate the perfect conjugation using the simple past tense. So Kara, he created. Bara, Kara, he called. Bara, he created. Katau, he wrote. Katal, he killed. So like that we will translate perfect. Next one is imperfect. The imperfect conjugation is used to denote incomplete action. So completed action is perfect, incomplete is imperfect. Though it is an oversimplification, for now we will translate the imperfect conjugation using the future tense. So ik told, I will kill. Ik tov, I will write. Then cohortative. So these three actually imperative. Cohortative is command, first person command. Let us praise the Lord. Let me go. Let me come in. So let us. So first person in English we use with the let us. Let us do it. Let me do it. That is first person command. Actually, when I say let me come at 8 o'clock, I am giving a command to my own self. So that is a command, cohortative. Then imperative is the direct command, what we have in English, second person. You praise the Lord, bless me, go out. So all those things are commands. Then jussive is the third person command. He shall praise the Lord. He shall come at 8 o'clock. He shall meet me. He shall not do this. Or he shall is jussive. Then infinitive construct to verbal noun, like to praise is good. So instead of saying praising is good, we say to praise is good, like infinitive and gerund we have in English as well. Then infinitive absolute is grammatical intensifier, like when infinitive absolute is there, and like for example, in the first creation story, that's when the fall story in Genesis chapter 3, that serpent and Eve, they are conversing with one another. Then serpent says that no, serpent makes Eve realize that will you really die? That is a really die. So we add an intensifier really, but in Hebrew it is like will you daily die or will you surely die? So will you daily die means doubly they use. First one is infinitive absolute to emphasize the action. Then second one we have here absolute. So here that we have in again Dravidian languages we have, for example Tamil we have sagave savai. So sagave a is infinitive absolute. So that means the same verb is used so that the action is intensified. நீ என்னை பார்க்கவே பார்ப்பாய், which means you will surely see. எழுதவே எழுதுவாய் means you will surely write. So these types of infinitive absolutes in Dravidian languages we have, and that's a grammatical intensifier. Then finally participle, verbal adjective, which we have seen already. So this we have seen, and today we are going to see this. And if you are thorough with this is simple. And if these two are thorough, these three are very simple. And infinitive is nothing but the regular triconsonantal root. Good. So that is an introduction to the entire Hebrew verbal system. So we'll take now 2 minutes break, then we'll resume our perfect learning. So with that, we enter into today's memorizing. This we will memorize this particular slide. Good. I pause for 2 minutes, then we'll resume. Good. Very good. We resume now. So we are going to see the perfect of Katao. So Katao, this is what we are going to see. We will practice it also. For the time being, let's see here. Katao means he wrote. Katao, then we have transliteration also in the second column. Then third column is a translation. So look here. Katao, Katuwa, Katauta, Kataut, Katauti, Katubu, Ketauten, Ketauten, Kataunu. Once again, Katau, Katua, Katauta, Kataut, Katauti, Katubu, Ketauten, Ketauten, Kataunu. We will learn to write. So when you write it, that becomes our muscle memory, and we will learn to write now. And you can also now write in your notebooks. We will produce what we have seen. So that slide. So if you want to take a screenshot of this, you can take. Now I will shifting to write this down in Paint. Very good. Okay, let me share my Paint window. So we are going to see the triconsonantal root is Katau, means to write infinitive, triconsonantal root. So since it is a Kaf at the beginning, we use Dagesh. So here, this is number position 1, 2, 3. So since there are no gutturals, like there is no Aleph, there is no Ayin, there is no He, there is no Het. These 4 are not there here, so it's a strong consonant. So it's a strong verb. Very good. Now we will see. And if you look earlier, we started with the first person. Then we moved to, for example, li, leha, lah. Then we came to first person plural. So we started with the first person, second person, third person. This is how we learned pronominal suffixes. But verbal patterns are written with third person, second person, first person. So this confusion may be there initially. So that's why I'm warning you. Pronominal suffixes we learned this way: first person, second person, third person. In whatever grammar book you will see, you will have this pattern: third person, second person, first person. So the order is changed. Person order is changed. So kindly take a note of it. Not first, second, third, but second, third, second, and first. Good. So we are going to see now call. So our verb pattern that we are learning is call perfect. So look at call here. So ah. So this will be in all. So first one we begin with katav. So this is the simple form katav. Sorry, my connection disappeared. Are you able to see me? Are you able to see?
Yeah, we are able to see you, but not the paint.
Okay, good. Very good. Okay, so katav, first one, just you write the simple one like that is call, katav. That is third person, masculine, singular. He wrote, katav. Then we have katuva. So
Father?
here, yes, Kumar.
Where did exactly the third person masculine singular is mingled in this, in the root?
Okay, for third person masculine singular has no, in the sense it's plain. So you can that way, like nothing is added. So this is a plain verb is third person
When we
masculine
see
singular.
it's a plain verb and it is actually considered as a third person.
Yeah, third person singular. It's uninflected. Yeah, the first form.
Uninflected form, right?
Yes, yeah, this is
So it's always
uninflected.
considered as third person singular.
Yeah, correct, Kumar. Okay, good. Now we'll see the other one, then it will be easy. So for feminine singular, third person, we write the consonant first. Okay. So for feminine ending, so we add a. That is the feminine ending we have learned. So how it becomes? So ka remains. So it becomes short. Katta va. So this is katva. Katav, katva, meaning is she wrote. Third person singular. So katav is uninflected. and feminine ending a is there. Katau, Katua. Then next one is again root. So for the root we have here the suffix ta. So here same way Kattauta. Kattauta. Since it is a Bhagat Kafat letter. In some places, very rare, you will have A also. But very, very rare. Kattauta. But we need not take it. So this is Kattauta is you wrote. Masculine singular. You wrote. Kattauta. So here, Kattau. So same like you look here. Kattau. So Kattauta. Here it becomes Kattava. So only here there's a Shua changes A changes into Shua because it's a lengthened here. Kattava. The next one, Kattaut. Feminine singular. Because feminine words have the ending. So Kattaut. Letters. So same Ka Taut. Double Shua. Kattaut. Meaning you feminine singular wrote. Example, I say to Mrs. Karen, Kattaut. Suppose I say to Mr. Terence, it will be Kattauta. You wrote. You wrote. Here, feminine. Sorry. Then next one is E, first person, singular, Kattauti. Again, triconsonantal root. So we have Ka, Ta, O. We add T suffix. Kattauti. So you remember Li. So whenever E is there, it is first person always. I wrote. So for both masculine and feminine. So here, just run through Kattau, Kattua, Kattauta, Kattaut, Kattauti. He wrote, she wrote, you masculine singular, you feminine singular. Then I wrote Kattauti. The next one we have, they wrote. They wrote is.
Excuse me, Father.
Yes, Terence.
The first person, there is no masculine, feminine
no,
difference.
it's common. First person is common.
Thank you, Father.
Thank you. Yeah, first person, there is no masculine, feminine discrimination. First person is common. Okay. Now we go to third person plural. That also is common. Kattavu. So again, triconsonantal root. Kattavu. This is again common. they, masculine and feminine. Katavu, katavu. Then we have katautain, katautain, like laken, laken. Katau. So we add like laken, laken. Katautain, katautain. So here it becomes short. Ketautain, ketautain. Ketautain is you masculine plural wrote. Ketautain. Then we have laken, laken. So only mem becomes nun. Ketautain, ketautain. So mem becomes nun. Ketautain. You feminine plural wrote. And first person plural again nu, natanu, emmanu. Same way. Again it becomes kattaunu. Kattau nu. So here ka ta kattaunu, meaning we wrote.
Father,
Nu, yes.
what is the implication of Ketuvim?
Implication of
Ketuvim.
Ketuvim.
Ketuvim is the writings.
Ketuvim. Yeah, Ketuvim is writings. Like you remember participle visa?
Yes.
Kotev. Kotev.
Yeah.
That's same. That is Kotev. That's Ketuvim is writing.
It's a participle form of the verb.
Participle form of Katav.
Participle form of the kata. Okay.
Yeah.
Ketuvim. It's a plural, right?
Ketuvim.
Plural.
Yeah, Ketuvim. Like we wrote for masculine plural, no?
Yeah, Ketuvim.
Yoshvim, Kotuvim. So same like Kotuvim.
Ketuvim.
Ketuvim is writings. Participle form or gerundial form you can take. Okay, good. Okay, we'll quickly run through Katau, Katuva, Katauta, Kataut, Katauti, Katuvu, Ketautain, Ketautain, Kataunu. Once again, so we Katau, Katuva, Katauta, Kataut, Katauti, Katuvu, Ketautain, Ketautain, Kataunu. Good. Now each of you will just repeat this. Maybe I'll start with Father Jose. So I'll display and you may repeat it, Father. So that because Hebrew, they believe in hearing. So knowledge comes by hearing. We'll try to hear each of us. Yes, Father. So you may read from here, or you may read from your book, or you may read from your memory. Katau.
Katau, Katva, Katauta, Kataut, Katauti, Katavu, Katavtem, Katavten, Katavnu.
Okay, so here, Father, when it comes to the second person plural, so you can just try to say K so that we don't miss the shua here. So if you tend to say Katautem, we may write A, but if you say Ketautem, so then we make sure that shua is there. So for
Katavtem,
all other places, A, except here. So Ketautem, Ketauten, Kataunu. So that we don't.
Katavtem,
Yeah, very good.
Katavten, Katavnu.
Very good, Father. And if you look here, that R, there is one perpendicular line. Then here R, there is one perpendicular line. So that you need not to worry about it. Just it's only for stress mark, like you reduce it, they say it. So you reduce this, they say. It's not katautu, katavu, but it's katavu. Because the accent flows to the last one. That's why they have the perpendicular line here and here. But they don't form, or they have nothing to do with the form morphology. So don't worry about that. So morphology has to do with only vowel marks. Then Good, very good. Mrs. Karen?
Katav,
Yeah.
Katavta. No, Katva, Katava,
Katava, very good.
Katavta, Katavt,
Kataut,
Kataut,
very good.
Katavti, Katavu,
Katavu,
Ketavtem, and Ketavtem,
very good.
and Katavnu.
Kataunu, very good. Kataunu, we wrote. Super. Mr. Terence?
Katav, Katva, Katava, Katavta, Katavat, Katavti, Katvo,
Katavu,
Katavu,
Ketautem,
Ketautem,
First one is tem.
Ketautem, Katvanu,
Kataunu. Okay.
Kataunu.
Very good. Super. So just I give a hint how to remember this now. You remember is in your own mother tongue. Okay. Our own mother tongues have different conjugations. For example, Father Jose, how would you say these things in Malayalam, Father? He wrote, how would you say? Avan?
Avan Ezhuthi.
Okay. Aval?
Aval Ezhuthi. Same.
Okay. Ni? You?
See, everything is Nee Ezhuthi. Same.
Okay. First person also, Father?
Yeah, Njan Ezhuthi.
Njan Ezhuthi. Okay. First person plural?
Nammal Ezhuthi.
Nammal Ezhuthi. Third person plural?
Avar Ezhuthi.
Okay. Okay, Father.
Okay.
And Mrs. Karen, your language?
Father, my language is English only.
Okay, super. Any other language you speak? Indian?
No, I mean, I can speak little Hindi or...
Okay, in Hindi, how do you say he wrote?
I can't speak properly.
Okay,
He wrote will be... wo likha.
Oh, likha. Okay. She?
Wo likhi.
Likhi. Okay.
Tum
You wrote?
Tum likha.
Tum likha.
Tum likha.
Likhi.
Main likha. Main likhi.
Okay.
I will be two. I think likha and likhi, no?
Then, okay.
Wo likhe.
Okay. Plural, and they wrote, okay.
Plural will be
Hum likhi.
Hum. That's
hum
first person plural.
Hum
Okay.
likhe.
Viru.
And you.
Okay.
Tum likho.
Tum. Okay.
Tum likho, no?
Okay.
And
I'm not sure.
Tum likho and hum likhe.
Very good. Hum likhe. Okay, super. Mr. Terence, first tell Tamil.
Okay.
Avan எழுதினான்.
அவன் எழுதினான், அவள் எழுதினாள்,
ம்.
நீ எழுதினாய்,
ம்.
நீ எழுதினாய்,
ம்.
நான் எழுதினேன்,
Okay.
அவர்கள் எழுதினார்கள்,
Okay.
நீங்கள் எழுதினீர்கள்,
ம்.
நீங்கள் எழுதினீர்கள்,
Okay.
நாங்கள் எழுதினோம்.
Okay. நாம் எழுதினோம் அல்லது நாங்கள் எழுதினோம்.
எழுதினோம்.
So here it is நோம், நீர்கள், நார்கள், then நேன், நாய், then நான், நாள்.
நாள்.
So this like more or less we have close connection with this because
That's right.
more or less except for example here எழுதினீர்கள், எழுதினீர்கள் is same for plural, but
And
in
also in
Hebrew it is different. Ketautein, ketautein.
Yeah, that gender difference is not there in
Gender difference is not there. Only for the second person we don't have gender differences.
Yes.
For all other persons we
I
have.
think only Hebrew is having this gender difference in plural differentiation. Only Hebrew, the differentiation in gender in plural.
Yeah, in Hebrew and in Greek also.
Yes.
Okay.
Greek is also.
Very good.
But
Super.
very often, but it will always, when the group of people where men and women are mingled, they always dominate with the
With
male.
the masculine.
Yes.
Yeah, with the masculine. Even in German also, I think. German, in Italian, I'm sure. So if I suppose Federica, a Federico, sono andati. We don't say sono andate because one masculine, one feminine, plural forming, masculine dominates.
German also same.
Yeah, okay, good. So masculine domination is the rule of life. The rule of language also. Good. Very good. Super. Okay, so I want you to remember this by heart. Okay. Katau, katauta, sorry, katua, katauta, kataut, katauti, katuvu, katautem, katauten, kataunu. So you can write in a small sheet of paper and you can replay so that it gets registered because this is the basic. If this is clear, then what follows for other verbs will be clear. Okay, and also you can practice with some other. For example, you can take this katal. So here we have. We can say here. Look here. There is one more word here. Katal, katala, katalta, katalt, katalti, katalu, ketaltein, ketaltein, katalnu. Once again, katal, katala, katalta, katalt, katalti, katalu, ketaltein, ketaltein, katalnu. Good. So you can practice with some other verb which we'll see shortly in the vocabulary list. Okay.
So for this call, that verbal, I mean that vowel pattern will be the same.
Yes, for vowel pattern will be same for all verbs. For example, you just now we have
Strong verb if you take, the vowel pattern will be.
Yeah, correct. For the strong verbs, like all three means without guttural.
Okay, Father. Thank you.
Okay, very good. So we'll see. Suppose we have zakar. We will see shortly, and you can take from the vocabulary list and you can form your own verbal patterns. Okay. So verbal patterns, they don't change. Like mathematics, katau is replaced with katal, or you can replace with zakar. Suppose he remembered zakar, zakara, zakarta, zakart, zakarti, zakaru, zakartain, zakartain, zakarnu. So same vowel patterns remain same, only we change the consonants for strong. Okay. So here, look here, that's which I was using, zakar. Okay, now with the having learned the perfect form, let's try to see how it functions in a sentence. Word order in verbal sentences. Usually the verb, perfect verb or any verb comes at the beginning of the sentence. So here we have zakar, haish, yet haddavarim. Zakar. means remembered, third person masculine singular. He remembered. Who remembered? Haish. The man remembered. What did he remember? Yet Hadwarim. He remembered the words. The man remembered the words. Second one, Katav, Haish, Yet Hadavar, Bas Sefer. Katav, he wrote. Who wrote? Haish, the man wrote. What did he write? Yet Hadavar. He wrote the word where? Bas Sefer, in the book. The man wrote the word in the book. So usually it comes always at the beginning. Unless there is a emphasis. For example, we want to say man wrote it, not the woman. That time we use Haish Katav, not Haisha. So that to emphasize that particular person wrote it, there we becomes, for example, David wrote it. So David Katav, not Solomon. So just to, when we want to give an emphasis, we bring to the front. Otherwise, the word order is first one verb, then subject, then predicate, or subject, object. So verb, subject, object. VSO. That is the type of sentence we have, not SVO. Suppose here we have SVO pattern. Subject, verb, object. Subject, verb, object. In English, we have SVO pattern, but here it is VSO. Verb, subject, object pattern. The next one, Zakar et Hadwarim. He remembered the words. Feminine. Zakara et Hadwarim. She remembered the words. Zakara Haisha et Hadwarim. The woman remembered the words. So Zakar becomes Zakara because it's feminine. Then how do we negate it? For example, here, Zakar, the man remembered. Suppose you want to say the man did not remember. How would you say? Just you add this particle lo. So lo, I put in the paint now. So lo, you add lo does not change. It remains same. Just you add lo, then it becomes a negation. Like in English, we have no. So here, let me write. Suppose we have here. So I just add lo. So lamet, then olam, then aleph. It becomes lo. He wrote, he did not write. So I write it again. She did not write. So just you add aleph, then it becomes a negation. Suppose you have this lo. This lo is different. This lo means to him. So this is a suffix. So don't confuse this lo with this lo. So you remember aleph. If aleph comes, it is negation. Lo. Okay, go back to screen.
Also, that column is coming for lamet.
Yes.
Column is coming for lamet in lo.
But correct. Yeah, there it is. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the sound may be confusing. Okay. If you go by the letter, we will not miss it. Good. Thank you, Mr. Tarun. So that's what we have. Lo zakarti yet hadavar. Lo zakarti. I did not remember the word. Okay. So now we'll try to reformulate. For Jose, suppose how would you say, I did not write the word. You replace here zakarti with katav formation.
Lo
Very good.
katauti
Super. Lo katauti
yet haddavar.
Kadavar. Very good. Super. Mrs. Karen, the woman wrote the words. The previous sentence.
Hakatava Haisha
Very good.
et Davarim.
Et Kadavarim. Very good. And Mr. Kumar, the woman did not write the words. Here, the woman did not write the words. Negate.
Sorry, I was muted.
Okay.
Lo
Lo. Very good.
Akkatwara.
Lo.
Akkatwara.
No. Lo katwa.
Sorry. Lo katwa.
Very good.
Aisha. Et Attawari.
Yet Hadwarim. Very good. Super. Okay, Mr. Terence, the first sentence. The man wrote the words.
Katha, Aish, Et, Atwarim.
Super. That's it. So Sakar is replaced with Katha.
Katha.
Okay. Good. So this conjunction, we will just see how it changes. Okay, because it's a just you observe, you need not remember this. So this is a basic form. Ver. Ver is wow with shua. Ver means and. But when it change, it joins with bet, mem, and pay, it becomes u. Like just again father, this like ba, ma, pa. It becomes u. Ba becomes u. And before vocal shwa, it becomes u. Just for the timing, you understand. At the beginning of the word, if vav is there, it is ba. It is and. So that way, if you remember this va, we won't miss it. So here, before hatef vowels, is here. Hatef is a with shwa. That is hatef vowels.
Okay.
So there it becomes a. Ba, then there before monosyllabic initial accent like sown. This is monosyllable word. So what sown? And the cattle. Easy to remember. Just remember this wow. Don't worry about the form. Here it is shua form. Here it is u. Here it is a. Here it is a. Just you remember at the beginning of a word, if va is there, it is a conjunction. And this is important because in the Vayyiktol form, like how we make the imperfect form, this becomes very important. So we'll take it again when we see the imperfect. So for the timing, you understand that vav has different forms like u, a, and a. Good. Now we go to vocabulary and we will see some sentences. Number 1, yom. Yom we have seen already from Genesis reading. Yom means day. Hayyom, if you add the definite article, it becomes the day, that is today. Day, yom, hayyom is today. Layla, we have seen already, night. Makom, place. Shamayim, heavens or sky. Yalad, to bear. Yelad means we have seen. Yelad means boy or child. Yalad means to beget a child, to bear a child. Yalad, verb form. Same consonantal root. Yalad. Kavats, gather. So these are all strong verbs. Okay, kavats. Yalad. Zakar, to remember. Zakaria. Zakaria we say Yahweh remembered. So zakar means to remember. Yehad, one or first. That's a day. Yom Yehad, we are seeing the Genesis narrative. Then Bain. Bain is between. So if you remember, Bain, same sound is for Bain means sun. But here it is a yod, that makes the difference. So you remember, if there is a yod in between, it is means between. If there is no yod, it is sun. So Bain is between. Like between A and between B, we say Bain A, Uvain B. So Bain, between. Bethok, in the midst of. Mithok, me we know from the midst of. Like there is no just person in the midst of the city. That is Bethok.
Father, that
Yes.
Uben is because of the conjunction vav with.
Because of the conjunction. U, wow. Yeah, that vav becomes u in front of be. Beth. Okay, which we saw just here. So vav becomes u here in front of beth. That is u when it becomes. Okay. Then Bethok, in the midst of. Mithok, from the midst of, like the prophet came from the midst of people. Mithok. Gum. Gum means also or even. So you can remember the English gum. Gum means we paste something to add to. Gum, also or even. Lo is a negation, negative particle. Lo, no or not. General negative placed before the word it negates. Lo Zakar, he did not remember. Lo Kavats, he did not gather. Lo Yalad, he did not bear. So suppose she did not bear a child. Ha, like Lo Yalada Kaisha. The woman did not bear a child. Yalad becomes Yalada. We'll see some sentences and it will be clear to you.
Father,
Last-
one small question, Father.
Yes, sir.
You said that Betok and Mitok,
Yeah,
midst of, right?
in the midst of. Yes, sir.
Okay. That Tok means midst of?
No, not necessarily
Not
that.
necessarily.
No, it's not necessarily. Okay.
Okay. I was just
Betok,
trying
midst.
to derive from that.
No, it's not there. Okay.
Thank you, Father.
Okay. Very good. So let's see some sentences and we'll wind up. I will translate number 1, then Father Jose will translate 2, Mrs. Karen 3. So we'll just stop with these 3. Okay, good. First one, let me do. Yashaw, Kaish, Bain, Han Nahar, Uwain, Hassade. So Yashaw, it's from Yoshe, we have learned to sit or to dwell. So who said Kaish, the man, sat or dwelt, Bain, between, Han Nahar, the river, and between the field. Sade, Hassade is the field. So the man sat or dwelt between the river and between the field. Good. Father Jose, number 2. Kavats.
Kavats,
Very good.
Hannavi,
Very good.
Yet,
Hmm.
Ha'am, Etzel, Hahekal, Haggadol.
Very good.
Kavats. That is a verb
Very good, Father.
actually, and it is a strong verb.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Very good.
But I forgot the meaning.
Gather, to gather.
To gather. Okay.
Okay.
So, like he gathered.
Very good.
Then Ha Navi. Navi is prophet. Ha
Very
is
good.
definite article. So the prophet. Therefore,
The prophet
Kavat
gathered.
Ha Navi. The prophet gathered.
Very
Then
good.
et is direct object marker. So the next one will be object, direct object.
Very
So
good.
Ha'am. Ha'am is either people or people, nation, people.
The people. Yes,
So the
Father.
prophet gathered the people.
Very good.
Etzel. Etzel is near or beside.
Mm.
Then Ha-Hekal. Ha-Hekal is temple or palace. Ha is
Okay.
definite article. So near the temple. The prophet gathered the people near the temple. Ha Gadol. Gadol is great or big. Ha is definite
Okay.
article. So Ha Hekal Ha Gadol attributive. That is
Very good.
definite article plus article
Article.
attributive. So the great temple. The sentence will be the prophet gathered the people near the great temple.
Super. Great, Father. Very good.
Thank you.
Good. Mrs. Karen, last one. Third one, by Yom.
By Yom, Hahu,
Hahu.
Napela,
Nafala. Nafala.
Ash,
Yesh.
Yesh, Min,
Very good.
Hashamayim,
Hashamayim. Very good, ma'am. Yom is, ma'am, day.
Day,
Very good.
They.
Who?
They who.
Who is demonstrative? Remember demonstrative pronoun adjective. That. On that.
Nafela.
Nafala. From Nafal. Nafal means to fall. Nafala, which form? Masculine or feminine?
Feminine.
Very good. So Yesh is feminine, so it has a. So Yesh is fire.
Yesh is fire.
Very good.
From
on that day, fire.
heaven.
Okay, how would you translate from heavens? On that day,
On
fire.
that day,
Hmm.
fire fell from heaven.
Okay, very good. Does it recall any biblical text?
Sodom Gomorrah.
Yeah, okay, Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, on that day, fire and sulfur fell on the city. Okay, so this is the first two. Already from this lesson, we'll be taking.
Actually, this is the first
Yes.
one. Today, I mean, sorry, not
Yeah.
on the day, right? This is in the day.
It's literally in the day, but in English we translate on the day.
On the day. Okay.
But
Okay.
actually, in that day.
In
In
that
that
day,
day.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, in that day. Okay,
We
very
have
good.
to come out of this translation because the translation is making us more complicated.
Okay. So super.
Father, one
So,
doubt in that
yes,
slide
yes,
you
Father
showed.
Jose. Pardon, Father?
In the slide that you showed just now.
Okay, Father. I'll just see. Yes, Father. Here.
Okay, the third one, that is
Yes,
as
Father.
biome is in the day, right?
Yeah, yes, Father.
Okay,
In the
then
day.
the next one is who.
Yes, Father.
That who is that, right?
Yes, Father.
Why
And
the articles there?
attributive, no, Father. Article is there, ha is there.
Okay.
Then
Okay.
here article is hidden.
And
So
that
we
is
say,
So since both are article is there, we use it in the attributive form, right?
yes, Father. Yeah.
But if we translate, it is confusing. Actually, that's what I said.
Yeah, it's
Translations
actually
are
Okay.
that is confusing because that we are used to, like, it's not an adjective we treat it, but here if you treat it as like good day, suppose it's like a good day, it is that day. You
Or
remember that?
if that article is missing, that is the day will be like that. That is the day fire fall on the from the heaven. If that article is missing, Ahu.
If article is not there,
Yeah,
article is not there,
that is the
that
day.
is the day, correct? That is the day.
If the article is there, that day.
Yeah, and we have to remove the preposition also.
Also from there.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Thank
Very
you.
good.
Thank you.
Thank you. So already from 9 we'll be taking up, the Lamdin will be taking from the Bible. So the first one, he sat between the river and what is that? The field.
Jacob.
So yeah, Jacob. Then the second one is that the prophet gathered, that is Jeremiah. So we'll be taking up already the text from the Bible. So good. So the here come from 9 actually starts the real Hebrew.